Alright, so the FIA has set its sights on driving Formula 1 to net carbon zero by the year 2030. The ditching of tire blankets, 100% biofuel planned for 2026, and fewer tires used per race weekend are all just part of how this is supposed to happen. Yet there is one single glaring issue which would massively reduce the carbon footprint of the sport. In years gone by, we have seen 1 week dash of over 13,000 miles from Canada to Azerbaijan and then back again several more thousand miles to Europe. A quick glance at the upcoming schedule really shows the scale of the issue. The teams will depart Europe and travel to Baku and then go a quarter of the way around the globe to the Americas for the race in Miami before heading back to Europe. That's a total of 14,000 miles for just 3 races. The next absurdity occurs in June when, following the Spanish Grand Prix, Formula 1 pops over to the French-speaking region of Canada for the race in Montreal before returning to Europe, clocking up another 6,500 miles. This massive issue is something that the F1 execs are aware of, and they have proposed some changes to Formula 1's calendar in 2024. Formula 1 CEO Stefano Domenicali informed the teams during the Australian Grand Prix weekend that big changes were coming for the 2024 race calendar. Formula 1 could shuffle the calendar in 2024 because of Ramadan. The idea of kicking off the season 1 week before Ramadan in the Middle East is said to already be in place. Next year, Ramadan will start around March 10. Very important for practicing Muslims and others who want to participate in this. During Ramadan, no race can be held and run in an Islamic country. The opening race in Saudi Arabia would then be the weekend before Ramadan. Winter testing would be held in Bahrain in late February, also before Ramadan. Formula 1 would like to set the Japanese Grand Prix in March. This is almost against all traditions in which the Japanese Grand Prix is always run as one of the last races of the season. Liberty Media would like to see the Japanese Grand Prix run on the last weekend of March. Many of you hate this change, and there is one very good reason why having the Japanese Grand Prix in March is a bad idea. Unable to now race in Bahrain, the F1 circus will head off to Australia as part of a triple header that will then move on to China and complete the trilogy in Japan. Some Japanese fans have suggested this time of the year would meet with poor weather conditions in the land of the rising sun. The Australian Grand Prix promoters may be glad of the return to a more traditional date for the race in Melbourne, given those extra few weeks make all the difference between the end of the Australian summer and the cold weekends of autumn the teams and drivers suffered at this year's event. One possibility would be to let the Japanese Grand Prix remain in its current slot and move from Australia to China and then to the warmth of Singapore. However, the race promoter, Colin Sin, made it clear in Melbourne that this will likely not happen. He said in Melbourne, "We've had the race in late September since 2008. This has created a routine for those who come and watch the race, and if we change it, we may lose some of our more regular ticket buyers. So I've told Stefano, I don't want that change to happen." Singapore pays significantly more than Japan for its hosting fees, and so the option to switch it up appears to be doomed. Leaving the Pacific Theater, there is also the issue of the American races, where they are awkwardly placed in the middle of the European races. So another possible idea for the American races has come up. Stefano Domenicali made no reference to the 2024 Formula 1 calendar beyond the first 4 races, so it's yet to be seen whether sensible decisions like regionalizing the races in the Americas finally comes to fruition. Ambient temperatures and seasonal conditions aside, one of the reasons the races in North America were non-consecutive was due to promoters' fears that back-to-back races would affect overall attendance. With the newfound obsession in North America for Formula 1, at least this is one difficulty Formula 1 no longer needs to concern itself with. A possible way of grouping the American races could be as follows. Let's pretend like the Japanese Grand Prix stays in place. Then we can go from Japan to Montreal in late September or early October. Then we go from Canada to Miami, then to the Circuit of the Americas in Texas, then to the latest edition on the F1 calendar in Las Vegas. After that, the F1 circus travels to Mexico, and we end the American leg by going to Brazil. After Brazil, we can end the F1 season in Abu Dhabi, who will most likely host the season finale since they pay extra to host the final race on the F1 calendar. So do you think F1 will ever have a calendar that makes sense from an environmental point of view? Let me know in the comments below. Now check out how Mercedes is slowing down Aston Martin by clicking on this video.